Greeting YouTube. I'm going to link to an article on the Big Blue, and the opening line really does sum up a lot of the sentiment involved in the overall discussion. 86% of the 500-member International Association of Scholars voted for a resolution declaring that Israelis' policies and actions in Gaza had met the legal definition set out in Article 2 of the 1948 UN Convention on Genocide. Now, of course, the Israeli government is going to deny this up one side and down the other. They absolutely refuse to admit that they're even starving people in Gaza right now, which they absolutely are. They're denying the fact that they were using food to lure people into the open so they could be shot, which was happening. And they're ignoring the fact that while they are at war with Hamas, and you cannot be at war with a terrorist organization. You can't. This is asymmetric warfare at best. They are not a declared state. They are a non-state actors. And while they may have been at one time put in charge of the Gaza, they were still not a legitimate government. And the people in Gaza have come to understand how dangerous they are. Lots of Gazans do not want Hamas there. But Hamas didn't spring full-blown from nothing. Hamas sprung forth from the oppression that the Israeli government has reaped upon the Palestinian people for decades. For the entire lifespan of many Palestinians in the area, they have never known anything but oppression at the hands of Israel. Now, don't get me wrong, I did not want Hamas to attack Israel. I do not want Hamas to exist. I don't want terrorist organizations of any kind to exist. I don't want any form of genocide to exist. And while I can want every Jewish person to continue living a happy, healthy life, as well as wanting every Palestinian person to live a happy, healthy life, I can almost also say, hey, Hamas, they're terrible, they need to go. But also, the Israeli government is terrible, they need to go. Because the Israeli government is absolutely committing genocide in the Middle East right now. Not only that, but they're attacking neighbor after neighbor, all in an effort to continue this war. Because Netanyahu cannot maintain power under peace. Under peace, he is absolutely going to lose his position and very well likely to be prosecuted for the crimes he has committed in the past and the crimes he is committing in the present. So the only way he can keep himself in power, keep himself out of prison, is if this war continues to perpetuate. So it is in his best interest to perpetuate the war. And there are enough hard right folks in Israel who will back him up because they very much want to see there be no Palestinians in the Middle East. That would solve a lot of problems for them as far as they're concerned. If they just keep doing this, eventually there won't be any Palestinians left. And that's their goal. So the state of Israel is absolutely committing genocide right now. But you have to remember that they created Hamas. Hamas did not exist before Israel. Israel came first, and Hamas grew out of the oppression heaped upon the Palestinian people by the Israeli government. And I've asked this question before, and I've never gotten an answer from anyone. And I've asked you this question on numerous social media platforms. How long would you tolerate being treated the way the Israeli government has treated the Palestinians before you did something? How long? And if somebody walked up to you and said, hey, you know, we have a plan of getting revenge on the Israelis, how many members of your family would have to die, be tortured, be disappeared, before you said, yeah, you know something? I think that sounds good. Because everyone has a breaking point. No one can put up that kind of oppression forever. And they're going to want revenge. Because what the Israeli government did in the past, what they're doing now, is an abomination. It is crimes against humanity. They have been treating the Palestinian people not just as second-class citizens, but not even as people for decades. So I can despise Hamas, but I also despise the Israeli government. And the Israeli government has one big advantage over the Hamas. They're a legitimate government. And if the people said get out, they'd have to get out. I'm waiting for the Israeli people to do that. Because Netanyahu is not going to end this war. So unless you vote him out of power, he's just going to keep killing Palestinians, keep attacking his neighbors. Because he needs this to continue to stay in power and to stay out of prison. But to all the folks out there saying that what Hamas has done is an atrocity, and it is, I ask you again, how long would you put up with that level of oppression?